2023 was a crazy year, and today we're gonna take a look back at the best pickups of the year. I got them all on my phone right here. I'm also gonna pop up a picture. Starting off, we got the Zion and LaMelo Ball flawless patch autos. I picked these both up at the Houston Card Show back in February, and I'm starting off with this deal because the following week I went to the Burbank Card Show, graded them there from PSA, and they both came back PSA 10s. Crazy cards. They both were healthy at this time, and I ended up selling both for a pretty good price, so I was happy with the margin on those. Number 9, we got the Chet Holmgren Black Optic 1 of 1. I picked this card up, I believe, on Facebook a couple months ago, and then I ended up selling it within a couple weeks of buying it. You know, it's funny too because I sold it like a week or two before he got hot, so if I would have held the card for a couple more weeks, probably would have sold it for more, but you know, at the end of the day, you guys know the saying, you don't go broke taking profit, and that's what we did. Number 8, we got the Kenny Pickett Black Finite Prism 101. We bought this card over the summer. Me and Dalton went half on this card. It just had got pulled in Texas. Dalton hit me up and said, yo, we gotta buy this. So we ended up buying it. We sold it within like 48 hours. And that's one of those cards that is just like, that kind of set the tone for the second half of the year. Because, you know, when new product comes out, like Prism had just came out. And the fact that like this was the chase card over the summer. And yes, Kenny Pickett hasn't had the best season this year, but you know, and neither has, you know, a lot of these young guys, right? Nobody's really playing super well except for like right now, Lamar, Purdy, they're both playing good. Tua had, you know, he was playing better. Dolphins kind of are trending down, it looks like, going into the playoffs, so not a good time to be trending down. You want to be getting hot right now, like the Ravens. They might be the Super Bowl favorite right now, honestly. Lamar looks great. The defense looks really good. They can make a run. If everybody stays healthy, they can make a run. All right, back to it. But this was a crazy pickup. We actually sold it within like 48 hours. We made good money on it, so I'm happy with that. And yeah, I'm excited for this year's Prism. It should be coming out in the next couple weeks. CJ Stroud, Anthony Richardson, Will Levis. So those are gonna be some of the chases. Bryce Young. So we'll see what their Prisms come out, and I already heard about a crazy sale on the Black Shimmer 101 Richardson. That one went for 5 figures, which it went for somewhere in the 20s was what I heard, which to me that just seems like, I don't think we saw enough of Richardson. I mean, he played well when he was playing, but then he got hurt early in the year. But it just goes to show a lot of these quarterbacks is hype, right? Doesn't mean that you can't make money. No, because if they end up playing well, the card does go up in value. Whoever bought Lamar Jackson over the summer, they made money right now. Whoever bought Tua over the summer made money in the beginning of the season when they started off hot. Same with Purdy. Purdy wasn't that high in the summertime, but now he's way higher than what he was. So there's definitely money to be made in the football quarterback market, but you also gotta, you know, look at the whole picture. Is like 16 out of the 32 teams aren't going to be good, right? And only one quarterback can win the Super Bowl. So you got to kind of, you know, make sure that you're diversified at the same time. Number, I believe, what am I, 7? Justin Fields Shield out of Flawless. We picked this up at the March Chicago Card Show. Me and Dalton went half on this one again. We ended up holding the card from March all the way till August. We sold it right before the season, and we ended up breaking even on it. But sometimes in this market and just in life in general, when you break even, it's a win. So I'm happy we did sell in the beginning of the year because he did not come out and surprise anybody or go crazy. So that was a good sale as well. Number, I think 6, we got the LaMelo Black Optic 1 of 1. This card was crazy because it got pulled out of a Walmart tin, and in the tin was like 2 optic packs, 2 prism packs. It was like a repack by Walmart. I think that's how they do it. And this card was in there. It sold, and then I bought it from the guy that bought it off the guy who pulled it. I bought it at the Atlanta Card Show, Culture Collision. Speaking of that, the next show is end of January in Atlanta. I'll be there, and we're playing basketball. It's gonna be a great weekend if you're in the Atlanta area or you're just in the country. Check out Culture Collision. It's gonna be a great show. January 26th through 28th. Next, number 5, we got Tom Brady. This card's crazy. The Tom Brady Bowman Chrome Refractor rookie. This was my first ever Bowman Chrome Refractor, and it was just like when I got this card, it was like a full circle moment because I remember going to like my first couple shows and seeing this card at like a show when I was buying $5-10 cards, and I was like, man, one day. And then I ended up getting it, what, 2-3 years later. So it's just like full picture is crazy. These have come down a lot. I sold this, I think it was like, I think like mid April or May, maybe June. I'm not really, I don't really remember, but I know they've come down since then. But Brady, a lot of Brady's high-end stuff has come down, and I think that long-term it is a good play, being he's the greatest quarterback ever. So I think there's a bottom for sure, and I don't know if they've bottomed out yet, but I think that looking long-term on this card, I think there's definitely value there. Number 4, we got the Patrick Mahomes Gold Kaboom BGS 8.5 number to 10. This card was actually crazy. I was at the New York Card Show, and I met a guy there. I bought a bunch of cards off him. Then he showed me this card after we closed the deal, and I'm like, yes, I want that card. It was like an hour away at his buddy's shop. So I drove an hour away from the show to go pick it up. We closed a deal on it. And it was just like, I don't know, something about the gold Kaboom. This is first year gold Kaboom for NFL. And, you know, anytime there's a first year of something that looks this good, it's almost like it can hold that PMG value, right? The 90s inserts, the PMGs, the reds, right? Like this could be a modern PMG if you're looking 10, 20, 30 years. Like look how well the PMGs and the rare 90s inserts held up in value over the past 30 years. And then look at this, like this could be one of those plays where in 10, 20, 30 years, people are looking for that first year gold Kaboom of Mahomes. So amazing card. It was first serial 1 out of 10 as well. So that kind of just like icing on the cake. Amazing card that I was just happy to buy. And I ended up selling it to a super collector of Mahomes who lived in Kansas City, Missouri. So it was like full circle again. Shout out to Barry for middleman in that deal as well. Man, it was just a great card to own, and I think I owned it for a couple weeks actually. It wasn't the easiest card to sell because, you know, it wasn't cheap, you know, but man, just remembering that story was crazy. All right, next we got the Trevor Lawrence Black NT out of 5. This story is even crazier because this card had just got pulled from a breaker. The guy won it, was in Louisiana, so I flew to Louisiana to go pick it up. When it came out the pack, it was damaged. It had a bunch of fingernails all over it, and it was just damaged. At the National, I talked to a Panini rep, and he was like, all right, send it in. We'll see if we have a replacement, and if we do, we'll send it out to you. If not, we'll just send the card back. I was like, all right, let's try it. Why not, right? So gave it to Panini. 3-4 months go by, didn't hear anything back. Then all of a sudden I get a call like, yo, we found another one. We'll mail it out to you in the next couple weeks. And boom, got it in the mail. It was a new card, 4 out of 5, same serial number. So they damaged or they cut up the other one. They replaced it with this one. We then sent this to Beckett the same day we got it. Came back a BGS 9.5. Now the craziest part, we ended up selling it for, me and Dawn went half on this card. We ended up selling it for break even because of just the timing of the market. We didn't time it right. And we ended up, you know, it sat at Panini for 3 months, and we held it for like a month after we got it in a 9.5 because we were just trying to figure out, you know, the season had just started. He didn't start too hot, so it was like if we would have got this card in the summer hype, we would have sold it quick. But then we got it like 3 weeks into the season, and he's like, I think they started like 1 or 2 or 1 and 3, so it was like he's not really, now's not the time to sell. Side note, this whole market is timing. Everything's timing, right? If you can buy a guy when he's not hot and sell him when he's hot, you'll win. But if you buy a guy when he's hot and then he cools down, then, you know, you might break even, or you might lose a little bit. Or you maybe just have to wait it out and see if he gets hot again. But the whole point is everything's timing, right? In the summertime, everybody's speculating. There's no injuries. Nobody's playing bad. Vice versa, nobody's playing good. But really, nobody's playing bad. That's what really causes prices to drop. Nobody lives up to the expectation that we set, and the ones that do live up to the expectations or exceed it, you see a growth. I just saw some the other day. Beginning of December, Lamar Jackson National Treasures BGS 9 sold for $8K. One just sold for $15K. That card doubled this month simply because Lamar is heating up going into the playoffs. They're playing well, and they are the Super Bowl favorite. That is the growth that you can see in this hobby. Now, whoever bought it for $8K, maybe they should take profit and sell it for $15, right? And then when you lose is when you don't take profit, and maybe Lamar boots out in the second round, because I'm sure they have a first round bye, right? What if you lose second game? Now that card's back to what, 8 to 10K? Maybe it stays at 11, 12, but like that's why you win by taking profit, because it's like, okay, I see the growth, I sell, and maybe you go buy a cheaper Lamar, like $1,000 Lamar, right? That won't drop by a couple thousand if he does lose. So you're just having to diversify, and you take profit and you put money into maybe smaller cards after you take your profit. That's what I do, that's what I've done, and it seems to work out pretty good. Number 3, we got the Joe Burrow Gold XRC number to 10. This was a BGS 9.5. I bought it off my buddy Neil. Shout out to Neil 702 Cards. He has a shop in Vegas, check him out. I took this card to the National, and I ended up PSA 10-10ing it at the National. I pretty much got like double what I wanted on the 9.5 when it was a 10, and it was just like, on those type of deals, when that happens, man, it's a good feeling, and I was just blessed. Man, that was crazy. But yeah, we ended up selling that card. Okay, well, actually with him. So I 10-10'd at the National, right? Then at the National is when the news broke that he like twisted his ankle at practice. So I'm like, dang it, you know, so the hype kind of went down on Burrow. And in order to sell a big card like this, like, I mean, nobody thought it was something serious, right? But it just kind of, it scares people in terms of like, oh, do they want to throw 20, 30K into Burrow right now after he just twisted his ankle? So I kind of had to wait on it a little bit. And then they said that he was healthy, he'll play week 1. And then I ended up selling it like right before the season, so it still worked out good. But it just goes to show timing, right? Twist his ankle, like you could be out for a game or two, and then now the hype or the excitement to buy your cards or to throw 10, 20, 30K into somebody, those buyers kind of just the pool gets smaller when news like that breaks. Number 2, we got the LeBron James champ tag. I really like this card. I bought it on Instagram from a guy up in Boston. He actually pulled it in a break. These cards are cool because, so it says 16 because when this card was made, the Lakers had 16 championships. Now they have 17, right? So that means this card was made probably during the bubble. That means he wore this on the bubble. On the back of every jersey, they have, if you see an NBA game and the team has championships, that's the thing. They have to have a championship in order to wear the champ tag. So on the back of his jersey, they have a 16. So that means this was probably worn in the bubble, championship year. 2 out of 2. I don't think the other one surfaced yet. It's game used as well. Overall, great card. I ended up selling on auction. I did pretty well on it, so that was a cool card. And at number 1, my guy, De'Aaron Fox Gold Prism. This card is just crazy because it pretty much made me into a Kings fan, because when I owned this card, I was watching so much Kings basketball. I really like De'Aaron Fox's game, and I was just like, this guy's so undervalued. And this was last year, before they made the playoffs for the first time in 15 years. I bought this card in January of last year, and I was like, yo, this man is just so undervalued. And I ended up I bought it at the Dallas show on Saturday. I sold it Saturday night. So I bought it back for $5K more than what I sold it for. So I gave the person I sold it to $5K profit. I bought it back, I think, a month or two after I sold it. I sold it the same day I bought it, and then 2 months go by, they're about to make a playoff run, or it's kind of getting into that end of the season, going into the playoffs. I bought it back, and then I ended up selling it again when they played the Warriors. Great series. Game 1, he had 38 or 39, and they beat the Warriors in game 1 and game 2. Then, of course, the Warriors and Curry decided to come all the way back. We ended up selling it during the series, made a couple thousand, so I was happy on that. But it just goes to show, like, there's plays in the market, especially with basketball season and football right now, but football's about to end, going to playoffs. So if you can pick up these guys, like right now, before the playoffs, who you think is going to make a run, and they win that, because during the playoffs is different than regular season, right? During the regular season day for NBA, it's 10, 12 games on. For football, it's same, 10 games on every day or every Sunday. Versus now playoffs, there's gonna be, 1 game at 4, 1 game at 7 on a Saturday and then a Sunday. So like all eyes are gonna be on these guys. So if you buy a Brock Purdy or you buy a Lamar or you buy a Tua right now and they come out in the playoffs and they win and they show off during the playoffs when it actually matters, that will cause a rise in prices. And because there's gonna be more demand, more hype, and when there's a lot of demand and not a lot of supply, maybe because people are holding or they've held or they don't want to sell because they think that he's going to win the next game, that's what causes the prices to rise. So yeah, that is the best card of the year, De'Aaron Fox Gold Prism. That card just pretty much made me a fan. I'm still looking for the PSA 10. A BGS 9 popped up around the same time we had ours, and that sold on eBay. And then, there's 10 of them. I haven't seen, and then I think I saw a PSA 8 or a PSA 9 on the China version of eBay. And then there's one PSA 10 out there. I have never seen it. If you have it, send me a DM. I'm looking for high-end De'Aaron Fox. I'm looking for NT, gold prisms, cracked ice, flawless. I'm also looking for high-end quarterbacks right now who will enter the playoffs. So if you have any high-end quarterbacks of guys going into the playoffs, send me a DM on Instagram at Rothcards. I'm buying heavy, and I'm gonna do an honorable mention. This is an honorable mention. Boom. Sam Howell, Shield, NT 101, his best card in existence. And as some of you may know, maybe many of you don't know, I'm a Washington fan. I'm originally from Virginia, so I went to Washington games my whole entire life when I was living up there. And it's been a rough 20 years of being a fan. Probably like 22, 23 years now. I think I've been a fan since I was 5. I'm 27 now, so it's been about 22 years. The best year of football was RG3's rookie year. That year of football was just, we were good for once. I think we ended that year like 10-6. It was just a great year. But I will say this, I still believe in Howell. I think he still has high potential. This was basically his first year playing, and people are expecting him to come out and play like Brady, right? For one, we have a bad team. We are not good. For two, we have a bad, Ron Rivera is not the best coach in the NFL, and it shows, right? We had a bad defensive coordinator. He got fired like 2-3 weeks ago. So this offseason, a lot is going to change. I don't know if we're going to keep Eric Bieniemy as our offensive coordinator yet. I'm not sure. I will say that his play calling is just, I don't necessarily get it all the time. We don't run the ball. We don't have a balanced attack. We don't really, I don't think, utilize the fact that, hey, we have a bad offensive line. Let's throw the ball quick. It's more like, oh no, Terry, run a wheel route. So let Sam wait in the pocket for you. So you go up, you go left, and you go up again. Sam is sacked by then, or he's throwing the ball away, or we're down by 20 and Sam has to force throws. Now, I get it. He has not played that well, but I still believe, and I still think that he has upside, and I think that, we're going to have the second or third draft pick this season, and I don't know if a quarterback like a Caleb Williams is really gonna help us or change our team if we don't fix the other problems. And we have a lot of other problems. Our defense is like worse in the league. Our line's worse in the league. We're not gonna have a coach. We're gonna bring in somebody new. We're gonna have to bring in a new GM. We got a lot of stuff to do this offseason. So I don't know if necessarily quarterback is like number one on that list, because I think Sam, if you give him a line and you give him a good defense, I think we can win some of those games. He had 5 great games this season, right? I get it, it's not a lot. But for rookie quarterback, it's not that bad either. Because a lot of those games we could have won if our defense stepped up. The game against the Eagles, last play of the game, scores a touchdown. Our defense can't get a stop in overtime. Same with the Seahawks. Sam goes like 90 yards the last drive of the game, scores a touchdown, ties the game, and they go down with 30 seconds left and get a field goal, go down the whole field to get a field goal. We lose that game. I mean, it's just games like that, right? Where our offense did well, but our defense couldn't. And on the... Oh, I can't even speak. At the same time, Howell got sacked 40,000 times this season. So I still like Howell, and for all the comments who are gonna hate on me and they keep coming in the DMs, what happened to Sam Howell? What happened to Sam Howell? Hey, I'll still buy his NT, his gold prisms. If you have them, send them my way. I'm still a buyer, because I think long term and a year or two, he has the abilities to be a starting quarterback. But for anybody in the league, you gotta be surrounded by good teammates, by good players, by a good defense. In basketball, there's 5 dudes on the court at the same time. If LeBron drops 50 points, chances are they're gonna win the game. If Howell throws 4 touchdowns, we could still lose. You know why? I know that because he did that. He threw 400 yards and 4 touchdowns in a game, and we lost by a touchdown. So, that's just how I feel. And thank you guys for watching this video. We got a lot of content coming in 2024. It's going to be a great year. Happy New Year to everybody. And may this year be the best year of your life, because you have the ability to make that happen. Any goal, any dream that you set for yourself is accomplishable, and you can accomplish it. It takes hard work. It takes dedication. It takes action, not just talking, but actually doing what you say you're going to do. You got to put all that into one, and you got to actually grind and put in the work, not one day a week or 3 days out the month. No, every single day. Because when you do that every single day, it's compounding up, and then in 6 months in a year, you're where you want to be. When you're so focused on the future, and I got these big goals and these big dreams, but I'm not taking action every day, then it's gonna be tough to get there. You get there by putting in work every single day. You don't see change overnight. You see change after putting your head down, putting your hoodie up, and grinding it out for 6 months. Then all of a sudden, you look around and things are changing. That's how change happens. It doesn't happen overnight. It happens over a course of time after you put in the work every single day. First show this year is Hawaii. We're heading there in a few days. We're gonna drop a bunch of Hawaii vlogs, a bunch of content. If you don't follow me on Instagram and TikTok yet, check me out at Rothcards. I'm always buying, selling, and trading. Send me a DM. Let's make some deals. Thank you guys for watching. Hit that subscribe button, because a lot of you guys are not subscribed. Like 70% of you are not subscribed. I'm running another giveaway very soon. In order to win the giveaway, you gotta be subscribed to the channel. So hit that subscribe button below. Keep putting in the work, keep having fun, and let's make 2024 the best year ever. Let's get it.